Hello, my name is James Shields. As you can see of the title, James Shields is live and still alive. Now, I have just set this up and I've done this little graphic. It's not my graphic really, well, I'm going to get in trouble. It's taken from a very interesting paper that I found, that I've mentioned previously. It was written in 2006, and it was something called cognitive recovery in Long Term Abstinent Alcoholics. That was the name of the paper. The reason why I found this to be quite interesting was because a number of reasons. The first reason was that it was the first scientific paper to actually give a proper time period of recovery. As far as I'm aware, there probably were other papers, but as far as I was aware, when it was published in 2006, and the recovery for drinking was given at 6.8 years, they called it, which is about 6 years and 9 months sober, around 7 years sober, and that's where I am actually right now. So this paper, this table, which was part of it, that's the table published in 2006, it was basically a proper scientific study. So they actually had two groups of people. It was one group hadn't had a drink really at all, and the other group had been drinking a lot over a long period of time, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, maybe even 40 years. They've been drinking for. They were given these neurocognitive tests which analyzed these various things, and they found that after, as you can see from that, after around 7 years, the cognitive function of the people who had been drinking, their brain had returned pretty much back to complete normality after 7 years sober. So I'd just like to go through that graphic, just go through it briefly, what it means, just to verify. Look at that. Verify what it means. Okay. So yes, I think the title, because I wrote it again, because I can't quite see it on the screen, but I think the top bit says presence of cognitive dysfunction after cessation of heavy drinking. So what it means is that, as far as I've just written down, after 2 months of being sober, what this graphic means is that there is no distractibility, there's no mild confusion, and there's no irritability of a person after 2 months sober. Probably true, I can't quite remember that, but things, I don't know about irritability. I think I've been always irritable. But, well, the irritability I think is gone now. You see, I think some of these things aren't exactly the time period as it says. I think once you get to 7 years, they're all pretty much done, you know. But it's generally correct, I think, from my experience. So after 5 years, which is the next column along. Oh no, that's after 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. The third one is after 5 years. So this is what this one means, that column. And as far as I understand it, so after, well, between 2 months and 5 years, but definitely after 5 years, attention and concentration is back. I like the word back. Reaction time is back. Verbal learning ability is back. Verbal abstract reasoning is back. Verbal short-term memory is back. So that's what that third column really means. That's what it's getting at. If you get to 7 years, we're really into some fancy stuff. I didn't even know it existed, but it says in this paper. So if you get to 7 years, yes, it says non-verbal abstract reasoning is back. So I didn't even know I had non-verbal abstract reasoning, but apparently it's back. Which is good. It's good to know, isn't it? Oh, your non-verbal abstract reasoning is back, man. Oh, thanks, man. So that's good, isn't it? Mental flexibility is back. I understand that. Yeah, I get that. I get that one. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that one. And non-verbal short-term memory is back at 7 years. So yeah, that's probably your thinking, your not speaking, but your, it's basically your short-term memory. Yeah, I'd agree with that. The short-term memory's always been a bit. Yeah, so that's apparently back. Wow. So that's living in the now, I think, really, short-term memory, that's what it means. So that's back. That's I think that's that one. That's the bottom one. Now this one, that one says maybe. Right? So that is apparently visual spatial abilities is maybe, but I did read the paper and they weren't really sure about that. It was just some had that problem, but others hadn't, so they really weren't sure about that. And well, visual spatial abilities, well, that's visual. I've spaced myself in this square so you can see the graphic. So isn't that my visual spatial, because I'm spatially, you see, isn't that my visual spatial abilities back? By the proof of this video. So I personally think that they're back as well, whatever they quite are, visual spatial abilities. But I think my visual spatial abilities are back as well, and for most people they're back also. So I wanted to make this video. It appears that, and this is the thing, it was like even if people have drank for 30 years, 7 years sobriety will get everything, get your marbles back, basically. which is quite, if you persevere with it, it is difficult, obviously. It has been difficult, but it's much easier now. But it is quite a good result. You know, 7 years is like a quarter of 30 years. So it's quite amazing that the brain has that capability. And that's about it, man. I've talked enough, but that's all I wanted to say for this one. Cheers. Thanks for watching. And hopefully, whatever comes to mind, I'll maybe do another video in the future. Cheers.